What's going on?
Norouz Piruz, my friend. Nice to virtually meet you.
Mubarak, nice to meet you.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate you making time. I know we got connected on very short notice through our mutual friend, Kimia. You know, she spoke extremely high of you. And I was like, man, let me do a little bit of research. And I did a little bit of research and I loved it. And congratulations on the new music video. That was a very cool music video that you guys created. What's actually the name of it? I actually watched it earlier today, but I forgot the name.
I'm not sure exactly which music video.
The one where it's like a little baby that you were picking up.
Oh yeah. It's called Fantasy World featuring
Fantasy World.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, that was great. I definitely enjoyed that one, man. So Locksmith, man, for people who may or may not be familiar with you, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background with being half Iranian?
Yeah, so I'm from here, from California, from the Bay Area, born and raised, but my father is from Tehran and my mother is African American, and you know, they had me, you know. So here I am, you know. I was, like I said, I was born and raised here in the Bay Area. I went to college at UC Berkeley. I started doing music, and you know, I'm just completely engulfed in the hip hop scene here in the United States and California, all over internationally. But yeah, I mean, that's the very short summary. But yeah, my father, you know, is Iranian. My family obviously is Iranian and African American. So it's you know, it's a few of us out there, but not too many.
Yeah, one of my best friends, Tehran, is exactly that same combination. Have you
Yes,
gotten connected with him?
Yeah. I'm very familiar with Tehran. Yeah.
A little bit too familiar, right? He's all up in your face, you know. So no, I just love him. So my man, what influenced you to start rapping in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, my genuine love for hip hop, growing up, seeing hip hop, watching music videos and listening to music as a kid growing up. And then I have an older sister who was from my mother's previous marriage. You know, she's older and she was doing music. She actually was able to tour overseas and do a lot of shows, and was really, so I saw that all firsthand, you know, growing up as a kid. And I didn't realize it at the time, but eventually it contributed to me wanting to do music and pursuing, you know, and being inspired by that. And so yeah, that was my first.
That must have been pretty cool. Sorry to cut you off. That must have been a really cool experience for your sister to have her little brother kind of like follow, you know, her path and stuff. That must be a great bond you guys have as siblings.
Absolutely. I mean, well, actually, it probably wasn't that great for her because I was annoying. I would be a little kid, you know, bothering her. But I did watch her, you know, writing raps and going into the studio and paying for recording time and understanding, you know, having like an inside glimpse on what all that was like. And I didn't realize, but I was learning the game. I was learning, you know, kind of like my first introduction to the industry. So that was a very, you can't replace those moments. You know, as time goes on, you learn that they seep into your subconscious. So then you fast forward to 10 years later, you know, 15 years later, now I'm full-fledged in the music business, in the music industry. And I'm very grateful for that information and for that firsthand knowledge that I got to witness.
Yeah, she showed you the ropes, you know, from the very beginning.
Absolutely.
I noticed in some of your Instagrams that you have like in your videos that you have some Farsi translation. I was wondering what made you want to add that.
So there's an interesting story. So yeah, I wanted to, because for one, I always had Persian or Farsi speaking fans and people that would message me. They would be like, you know, they couldn't understand, or like, could you translate this? So I don't, you know, I'm not very fluent in Farsi like that. But what I did is I said, you know what, I'm going to take the time, because I actually had a few fans that were like, hey, let me translate it for you. Let me do that for you. So I said, you know what, I think that would be a good idea. So I tried it with one video and people really enjoyed it. You know, a lot of Persian pages, a lot of Farsi speaking pages on Instagram and Facebook start sharing it. And I was like, oh, that's really cool, because I wanted to reach that audience to where they can understand exactly what I said. Sometimes as I've gotten on, the translations have gotten better. The first one, it wasn't the best translation. And then I also had a friend of mine in Iran, Puya is his name. he's a fan, and he reached out. He said, "Yo, Lock, man, I can translate it really well for you." So I had to transcribe all my lyrics down in English and send it to him, and he did a much better job translating the Farsi. And everybody seems to really like it when I do that.
That's a true fan right there for doing that. So
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
nice little shout out to Puya there.
oh yeah, man, because it's a lot of, you're talking about full song. There's a lot of lyrics, and then there's one time, the last song that I did it with, I was featuring another artist. He's Pakistani, and so he had his lyrics translated to the Urdu, and I had mine translated to Farsi. So mine was for the Farsi speaking fans, and his was for the Urdu speaking fans. So it was really cool. So both groups got to, enjoy that.
That's beautiful, man. So I'm kind of curious now that we kind of talked about the Farsi caption and stuff. Can you kind of tell us about how being raised half Iranian and whether it was, whether it influenced you in any way with your music?
Absolutely. It influenced, well, my story was growing up. I was predominantly raised around the African-American community because that's just, what it was like in the Bay Area in California, in the neighborhood that I grew in. And I didn't have that many relatives, maybe like one or two relatives, cousins that, they came to visit or was around us. But then as I got a little bit older in college, it kind of got reversed. My grandmother came from Iran, my uncles. So people came to stay and live with us. So the house kind of got flipped around a bit, and it was mostly Iranians there. So I got the culture inside of our household changed. The dynamic changed drastically, but it was great because I got to just spend time with my grandmother, spend time with my family members. And also when I was in school at UC Berkeley, a few of my main classes were Near Eastern Studies. So I got to study Iranian, Persian history. And so, that obviously enlightened me about a lot of things, not only from just a social level, but from a historical level about Iranian history and Iranian culture. So you take all that, it's going to seep and it's going to spread throughout my music. I mean, it's not something I consciously be like, oh, I want to rap about something Iranian. It's just who I am. It's a part of who I am. So it's going to come out in everything that I do.
Right. Have you ever, I'm assuming you don't speak fluent Farsi, you just kind of know a few words here and there, right?
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, because my grandmother, she didn't speak any English, so I had to start picking up words, and she would teach me words,
Have you ever considered like trying to at least read off a Farsi thing and just try to rap something in Farsi, even for fun, or you don't even go down that route?
What? That's a goal. That's a goal. Right now, I'm not nearly fluent enough to do that because, as you know, hip hop is a very complex art form as far as poetry. So it would be like starting all over again. But, inshallah, God willing, one day I'll be able to do that,
Nice. Well, going back to what you just mentioned about your grandmother and how you have memories of them being in the household, do you remember spending Norouz with your Persian side of the family at any point? Or
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because my grandmother, she would stay. My grandmother, when I was living at home with my parents in college, she stayed with us for a few years. She came, but she hadn't visited. She had never been here. So she set up shop and stayed for a while. And then my uncle. So yeah, we would have nothing like too major, but we would have, she cooked every day. So it wasn't like anything different.
Every day was Norouz.
Every day was exactly. Every day was just lots of food and kebab and fruit and tadik and just all this, it was always a lot, but yeah, it was a special time. And, I hope to visit her, because she's getting older now. So I hope to visit her soon.
Very cool, man. Well, one of the main things that I'm trying to do with, Unite and Conquer and, I have this Awesome People podcast. It's literally called Awesome People. And, what I want to do is continue to shine a bright light on Persians and hyphenated Persians, whether it's Persian from, Persian Swedish or Persian whatever, or half Persian, half anything else, and it's so great to like meet people that have such diverse backgrounds, everybody and anybody, everybody has a great story to tell. And I'm glad that Kimia just connected us. This was just a little short and sweet little introduction, and I hope that I get to continue studying more about your music and getting to know you. And hopefully next time around, we'll have you for a more lengthy discussion. But I just wanted to, have you here for a little bit so I get to know you a little better. And if you have a message to the Persian community around the world on this Norouz Day, feel free to take the virtual stage or the virtual mic and share it with them.
Yeah, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone. God bless, stay safe, be grateful, be thankful for everything that you have. And, if you have some time, check out Locksmith. My website is iamlock.com. And, I love you guys and I appreciate the love. And yeah, Happy New Year.
Thank you. And yeah, so on Instagram, I believe it was just Locksmith, right? So they can find you.
Yeah, you can just Google Locksmith rapper and all that stuff will pop up.
Well, great, man. Well, listen, the little hangout was short and sweet over here, but I really appreciate you taking time out of your Sunday afternoon and joining us, and look forward to, like I said, listening to more of your work. If it's anything like the latest music video that came out, I have no doubt there's a lot more great stuff once I scroll down your timeline after I recover from this 24-hour live stream. So,
for sure.
But congratulations on getting into this point, and I know that you want to reach a lot higher. So we're in your corner, we're rooting for you, and I have no doubt that we can unite and conquer together. So bless up and be well, and hopefully we'll see you soon, man.
Likewise, man. Take care. Happy New Year.
Thank you, brother. Have a good night.